Most people are taught that wealth comes from hard work. Work harder, save more, be honest, stay patient, wait for your turn. But Machiavelli would probably laugh at that advice. Because in the real world, wealth is not only built by effort. It is built by power, perception, timing, and control. It is built by the ability to understand what people want before they understand it themselves. Machiavelli did not write about personal finance. He wrote about rulers, kingdoms, enemies, loyalty, fear, and power. But hidden inside his philosophy is a brutal truth about money. The people who become wealthy are not always the smartest. They are not always the most talented. And they are definitely not always the most moral. They are often the people who understand the rules of power better than everyone else. This is not a video about becoming evil. It is a video about understanding how the game actually works. Because if you do not understand power, someone else will use it against you. Rule 1. Wealth begins when you stop thinking like a servant. Most people are trained to think like servants. They wait for permission. They ask to be chosen. They hope their boss notices them. They believe that if they are loyal enough, someone powerful will eventually reward them. But Machiavelli understood something darker. Power does not usually reward loyalty. Power rewards usefulness. A hard worker says, "I hope someone notices my effort." A strategic person says, "Who has power here, and what problem do they need solved?" This is the first shift. You stop seeing work as a place where effort is automatically rewarded. You start seeing it as a system of incentives. Every organization has a visible structure and an invisible structure. The visible structure is job titles. The invisible structure is influence. And wealth is usually created by understanding the invisible structure before everyone else does. Rule 2. Reputation is financial capital. Machiavelli knew that appearance matters. A ruler did not only need power. He needed to look powerful. Because people do not respond only to reality. They respond to perception. In modern life, your reputation can make you money before your skill does. A person who looks confident is trusted faster. A person who speaks clearly is assumed to be smarter. A person with status is given more opportunities. This does not mean you should fake everything. It means you must understand that the market does not only buy ability. The market buys belief. People invest in what they believe is valuable. So do not only become valuable. Make your value visible. Because invisible talent is often treated like it does not exist. Rule 3. Control access to yourself. Poor people are often too available. They say yes too quickly. They explain too much. They accept every demand. They let other people consume their time, attention, and energy without cost. Machiavelli understood that power often comes from distance. A person who is always available becomes less respected. In wealth building, access is everything. If anyone can interrupt you, distract you, and pull you into their problems, you will never build anything of your own. Your time must become harder to access. Your attention must become protected. Your energy must become expensive. You do not become rich by doing everything. You become rich by choosing what not to do. If you cannot control your own time, you do not truly control your life. Rule 4. Do not reveal your full strategy. Most people talk too much. They announce their plans too early. They tell everyone what they are building. Then they wonder why they lose momentum. Machiavelli believed that strategy should not be fully exposed, because the moment people understand your plan, they can interfere with it. They can copy it, mock it, sabotage it, or pressure you before the idea is strong enough to survive criticism. In wealth, silence is often an advantage. You do not need to tell everyone your next move. You do not need public approval before taking private action. The poor often seek validation before execution. The powerful execute first and explain later. Your strategy needs darkness before it can survive in the light. Rule 5. Learn to use fear without being ruled by it. Machiavelli is famous for one disturbing idea. It is safer to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. In money, this does not mean you should threaten people. It means you must understand fear as a force. Most people are controlled by fear. Fear of being judged. Fear of losing comfort. Fear of asking for more money. Fear of leaving a bad job. Fear of starting before they feel ready. A person ruled by fear cannot build power. To build wealth, you must act while afraid. Negotiate while nervous. Walk away while uncertain. Start while imperfect. Fear does not disappear when you become successful. You simply stop obeying it. Rule 6. People follow incentives, not words. Machiavelli did not trust beautiful speeches. He watched behavior. He understood that people often say one thing and do another. In finance, this rule is extremely important. People say they want freedom, but spend money to impress others. They say they want wealth, but avoid learning about money. They say they want success, but choose comfort every day. Words are cheap. Incentives reveal truth. If you want to build wealth, study incentives. Why does your boss pay you this amount? Why do customers buy? Why do people follow certain creators? The person who understands incentives understands behavior. And the person who understands behavior can create value, negotiate better, sell better, and protect themselves better. Rule 7. Build alliances, not friendships. Friendship and alliance are not the same. A friendship is based on emotion. An alliance is based on mutual benefit. Most people confuse the two. They expect friends to support their ambition. They expect loyalty from people who have no incentive to be loyal. But Machiavelli understood that power is maintained through alliances. In wealth building, relationships matter. But not every relationship is useful. Some people drain you. Some people keep you comfortable. Some people secretly need you to stay small. And some people can open doors you could never open alone. Your network is not just a social circle. It is an economic environment. Do not only ask, "Do I like this person?" Ask, "What kind of future does this relationship pull me toward?" Rule 8. Never depend on one source of power. In Machiavelli's world, a ruler who depended completely on one army, one ally, or one fortune was vulnerable. The same is true with money. If you depend on one income source, one employer, one client, one platform, or one skill, you are not secure. You are exposed. Many people think they are safe because they have a stable job. But stability controlled by someone else is not the same as power. If one person can remove your income, they have power over your life. If one algorithm can destroy your business, you are vulnerable. Wealth requires options. Multiple skills. Multiple income streams. Multiple relationships. Multiple ways to survive. Dependence makes you weak. Options make you dangerous. Rule 9. Be useful before you try to be loved. Many people want to be liked. They want approval. They want people to think they are nice. But the market does not pay you for being liked. It pays you for solving problems. Being kind is good. Being useful is profitable. If you can solve painful problems, people will pay attention. If you can save time, make money, reduce fear, increase status, or create clarity, you become valuable. Machiavelli understood that power comes from necessity. A person who is necessary is harder to replace. A business that solves a painful problem is harder to compete with. So the question is not, how do I get people to like me? The better question is, what problem can I solve so well that people cannot ignore me? Rule 10. The world does not owe you fairness. This is the darkest rule. Most people secretly believe that if they are good, patient, and hardworking, life should eventually reward them. But Machiavelli would reject that belief completely. The world is not designed to be fair. Markets are not fair. Workplaces are not fair. Social status is not fair. Opportunity is not distributed equally. This truth can make you bitter. Or it can make you strategic. Machiavelli's lesson is not to complain about unfairness. It is to stop being surprised by it. When you stop expecting fairness, you start building leverage. You learn rare skills. You position yourself where opportunity flows. You protect your reputation. You negotiate. You build assets. You create options. Wealth is not built by those who only deserve it. It is built by those who understand reality and move accordingly. The most dangerous thing about money is that it does not only change your bank account. It changes your relationship with the world. When you have no money, people tell you to be patient. When you have money, they ask for your opinion. When you are poor, your silence looks like weakness. When you are rich, your silence looks like wisdom. When you are struggling, your risks look irresponsible. When you are successful, those same risks become vision. This is the uncomfortable truth Machiavelli understood. Power changes interpretation. The same behavior is judged differently depending on who has status. That is why building wealth is not just about earning more. It is about escaping the position where other people get to define you. Poverty is not only the absence of money. It is the absence of options. And when you have no options, even your morality can be used against you. So the goal is not to become ruthless. The goal is to become difficult to control. Machiavelli's rules for wealth are uncomfortable because they force us to look at money honestly. Wealth is not only about saving, not only about working hard, not only about being talented. Wealth is about understanding power, controlling your time, protecting your strategy, building reputation, creating alliances, studying incentives, developing options, and refusing to let fear make your decisions. Most people want wealth because they want luxury. But the deeper reason is freedom. Freedom to say no. Freedom to walk away. Freedom to think clearly. Freedom to choose your own life. Do not chase money because you worship it. Build wealth so fewer people can rule over you. Because in a world driven by power, a person with no leverage is always at the mercy of someone who has it. If this video made you uncomfortable, that is probably a good sign. Because the truth about wealth is not always motivational. Sometimes it is dark. Sometimes it is unfair. And sometimes, understanding the game is the only way to stop being played by it. Subscribe for more dark lessons about money, power, and human nature.